Hi everyone, welcome to my vlog. And today we are here at the Saqqara pyramids. Okay, so itutour namin kayo. Okay. So ito po yung pinaka-entrance. And yung mga kasama ko na ticket. Okay, so we will go now, sir?
Now go to the Giza and you see me.
Mommy. Go inside.
And this
See
is
the mummies.
okay. It says that the pyramid Saqqara and it says everything inside. Special thing. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
In the bathroom part, they put paper in it to keep it working, and it doesn't even close properly. Oh, dude.
Ayan, so tara, tour namin kayo.
المتحف مفتوح ها؟ This is a video film, 15 minutes. It's come. It's close a bit. Good to you.
South of the Delta, on the west side of the Nile, lies a vast city of the dead called Saqqara. From the earliest dynasties to the fall of the pharaohs, Saqqara was a burial ground for regents, kings, and queens, and for the rich and powerful who served them. Over the course of 3,000 years, it grew to cover almost 50 kilometers of desert. It boasts 16 pyramids, thousands of known areas, scores of tombs and eerie animal catacombs. While many of Saqqara's artifacts and monuments have been excavated, there may be tens of thousands of tombs still waiting to be discovered under the wind-blown sands. But Saqqara is not just a cemetery. At its heart is the story of the ancient Egyptian way of death. The Imhotep Museum tells the story of this sacred place through the treasures of the 31 dynasties who made this plateau their gateway to eternity. earliest Egyptian burials are represented here, entombed beneath mud brick piles called mastabas. Then in 2600 BC, the mastabas gave way to an architectural revolution. Out of the sand emerged one of the most extraordinary buildings on the planet, the step pyramid of King Zoser. Built entirely of stone, it was the very first pyramid. The brainchild of a visionary architect and priest named Imhotep, the stepped pyramid was the original stairway to heaven, and the new way to glorify the king. Imhotep's invention led to the creation of the classic pyramid, the defining symbol of the brilliance of ancient Egypt.
If we look at the world today and yesterday and think of one man whose genius, smart, incredible, a person from the common people who became the second after the king, was Imhotep.
For all its glory above ground, the real story of the stepped pyramid lies underground. Here, Imhotep constructed a whole maze of tunnels and chambers, which represented a map of the underworld for his king. Because the danger of collapse is extreme, no one has explored these passageways for more than 30 years. But in a first, Dr. Zahi Hawass takes the risk. He is on a quest to understand the pathways King Zoser would have traveled after death. At the heart of the complex is Zoser's burial chamber, but his body has never been found. Eventually, at the end of a long corridor, Dr. Hawass found what he's really looking for. A powerful image of the king carved into a magic door. Through this door, never meant to be seen by the living, Zoser was believed to have stepped into the afterlife.
It's amazing. Today is a very important moment in my life. This is one.
The grandeur of the stepped pyramid served as a new home, and Saqqara became the ultimate resting place. Everyone wanted to be buried near their kings. Over time, royal hairdressers and priests, viziers and judges were all buried here. Each tomb offers a unique insight into the daily life of rich Egyptians. These wooden figures of officials on display in the Imhotep Museum reveal a secret about the Egyptian vision of life after death. The ancients believed that the spirit of a dead man could inhabit a statue bearing his face. One thing is clear from these tombs. Though they were obsessed with death, Egyptians were also obsessed with life. There are stories of invention and adventure, of hunting and of harvesting, of the love between husbands and wives, and even of manicures and pedicures. One of the most curious revelations about the ancient Egyptians came from the tomb of another court official discovered nearly 200 meters southwest of the stepped pyramid. His name was Pa, and he was a royal surgeon. He was buried with his medical instruments over 4,000 years ago. He had a surprising array of scalpels, 22 in all, and 5 different styles. This range of tools is further proof of the advanced state of the ancient Egyptian surgical skills. We know from the remains of the men who built the pyramids that Egyptian doctors could set broken bones and amputate limbs they could not save. Even Egypt's most famous king, Tutankhamun, has a link to Saqqara. For 250 meters south of the step pyramid, Tut's powerful general Orem built a dramatic tomb. But he never used it. 2 years after Tut died, Orem himself became pharaoh, and he was buried in even grander style in the Valley of the Kings. Tut has another curious link to Saqqara. In 1997, on a cliffside with a commanding view of the Nile, French archaeologist Alain Zivy discovered a tomb belonging to a woman named Maya.
I was looking for a name, and I found it here. The witness who fed the flesh of the god.
The flesh of the god can only mean one thing. Maya was a witness of the king. Here, she faces a young man wearing a pharaoh's headdress. His name is Tutankhamen.
You have the feeling that there was affection, yes, maybe more between the king and the witness.
And judging by the elaborate tomb built for her, the boy king returned that affection. Towards the end of the age of the pharaohs, on the same bridge where Tut's witness was found, came the oddest chapter of Saqqara's story. Almost 1,000 years after Tut's greatness had passed, this ridge became known as the doorway of the cats. Foreigners ruled the land, and Egyptians found solace in strange cults, including those that required animal sacrifice. One of the most popular was dedicated to Bastet, a cat goddess. Priests raised cats and sacrificed them by the millions as offerings to gain the gods' favor. And in a surprise to archaeologists, hundreds of tombs at Saqqara were recycled and filled with cat mummies. With the death of Cleopatra in 30 BC, the civilization that had lasted for nearly 3,000 years had almost run its course. And Saqqara's glorious monuments quickly disappeared beneath the sand.
Saqqara is a place of magic and mystery, and there is many secrets still hidden under the sand.
Perhaps the greatest secret is the location of the lost tomb of the great architect Imhotep. It was his revolutionary idea that changed the course of Egyptian history. An idea that began a sacred place called Saqqara.
So, papasok na po kami. So,
this quickly, though.
Tignan po natin. Let's see the mommy of Saqqara. That's her real mommy.
Here's the mom.
So where we are going next?
Upstairs, area. Have a ticket inside.
Here, let me take a picture of you in front of the flowers.